Prince Harry now says he's ready to forgive, but is the royal family ready to forget?
Of course, they will never forgive me for lots of things.
Prince Harry begged to attend the Royal Order of the Bath ceremony in May 2025, but got brutally rejected by King Charles, via staff, not even personally.
I would love reconciliation with my family.
While Harry sulked in Montecito, Prince William was crowned Great Master in a grand royal display of loyalty, legacy, and zero tolerance for drama. Prince Harry, out of nowhere, decided this was his moment to crawl back into royal relevance. And how? By trying to sneak back into one of the most prestigious events in British history, the 300th anniversary of the Order of the Bath.
There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. As I said, life is precious. I don't know how much longer my father has.
Yeah, that thing's been around since before America even had a flag, and Harry thought he could just waltz back into Westminster like the prodigal prince? Please, this wasn't a birthday barbecue. This was royalty's version of the Super Bowl, steeped in tradition, ceremony, and zero room for royal runaways.
He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile, as I learned through the First Nations throughout Canada.
And here's where it gets even colder. Not only was he rejected, he was erased. We're talking full ghost mode. His name, not mentioned once, no seat reserved, no whisper in the planning meetings. He was so excluded it was like the firm handed out invisibility cloaks and labeled his chair irrelevant. Man went from Windsor to witness protection in under a decade.
In many conversations I said, right, but reconciliation can't come without truth. Well, I've now found out the truth. I've shared some of it with you today.
Meanwhile, where was our royal rebel during all of this? Just 7,000 miles away in Montecito, California, pacing the halls, red-eyed, reportedly crying, and yes, apparently muttering to himself, "I deserve to be there. I'm the king's son, buddy. You set fire to the palace, wrote a memoir roasting everyone, and now you want back in? What did you think this was? A group chat you can leave and rejoin at will."
So it would be nice to have that reconciliation part now. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
While Harry was having his emotional tailspin in California, back in London, the royal machine was rolling on like he never existed. The ceremony at Westminster Abbey wasn't just an event, it was a flex. This was the 300th anniversary of the Order of the Bath, a knightly order drenched in history, prestige, and, clearly, absolutely no room for tabloid fugitives.
I've never ever been allowed or offered to make my own representations.
And right at the center of it, Prince William. Not only was he attending, he was promoted. King Charles passed down the Great Master of the Order title after holding it for nearly 50 years. 50, that's half a century of tradition handed over in front of the world, while Harry was busy rage-scrolling the Daily Mail in Montecito. The contrast? Painful. William, walking side by side with Charles, draped in velvet and history. Harry? Nowhere. Not even a blip in the souvenir booklet. And let's be real, even some third cousins got a shout out. That's like getting cut from the family group photo and the WhatsApp chat.
For me, and only me, there has to be a royal obligation in order to receive protection on UK soil.
And let's not forget the cherry on top. They didn't even leave a chair open for him. No hopeful placeholder. No, maybe he'll show gesture. That chair was non-existent, like his royal relevance. The message, the future is here, and it's not wearing a mic for Spotify. Now, you'd think after getting iced out of the biggest royal event of the year, Harry might take a hint, lay low, do some yoga, eat a scone, but no, he chose violence.
He wants to reconcile with his father, King Charles, but says silence and a bitter security dispute are standing in the way. From courtroom defeats to personal heartbreak, here's the latest on the royal rift.
Right before the ceremony, he gave yet another BBC interview. Yes, another one. Because when you're 7,000 miles away and irrelevant, obviously the best move is to fire more shots. He brought up old wounds, racism allegations, emotional neglect, even questioning King Charles's ability to lead. Days before a national ceremony, if royal drama were a sport, Harry would be MVP of self-sabotage.
To reconcile with his father, King Charles, but says silence and a bitter security dispute are standing in the way. From courtroom defeats to personal heartbreak, here's the latest on the royal rift.
Palace insiders didn't mince words. They called it a final betrayal. Sympathy, gone. Respect, burned. Whatever credibility he had left evaporated faster than Meghan's Netflix deal. The public wasn't moved. They were exhausted. The man who once captured hearts as the people's prince is now just a walking martyr complex with Wi-Fi.
As you say, Caro, it makes a mockery of his claim of wanting to make taxpayers to pay for his security.
Because while William was accepting tradition, Harry was probably refreshing news headlines to see if anyone noticed his BBC sob story. Let's not forget, William got this honor not by begging, not by performing for Netflix, not by writing tell-all memoirs dragging his own family, but by doing exactly what royalty is expected to do. He kept quiet. He stayed loyal. He didn't sell his dignity for a Spotify exclusive that got canned after one season.
What's the actual purpose, do you think?
I mean, that man does not have a good direction when it really comes to anything. I mean, even just giving the interview to the BBC.
And while we're on it, let's talk resumes. William's is all clean lines and royal stability. Harry's reads like a chaotic BuzzFeed list. 25 times Prince Harry made you cringe in public. I mean, come on. William was getting honored with a 300-year-old royal title, while Harry was whining to the BBC about how no one answers his calls. It's like one brother showed up with medals and duty, and the other showed up with drama and receipts.
Exclusive interview with the BBC. It keeps growing. We will tell you how the rest of the royal family is reacting. Let's bring in our News Nation entertainment expert to break it all down. Paula Froelich here with us.
The royal family is like, oh, here we go again. Harry, you know, they were celebrating VA Day, their version of Memorial Day.
Because here's the real truth the palace screamed loud and clear. Trust matters more than birthright. You can be the king's son and still get benched. You can wear medals from Afghanistan and still be told to sit down if you've also spent the last few years torching the family tree. Harry had the title. William had the patience. And at the end of the day, the crown rewards the one who stays, not the one who storms off, then tries to crash the reunion with a camera crew.
That they're criminals. Okay, he thinks that we're all criminals, which makes it hard to take him seriously. He's also talking about how the royal family torpedoed him, that they absolutely withheld information from him.
But what really cooked Harry's goose wasn't just the ceremony, it was what came after. You'd think after that level of public rejection, he might dial it down, maybe go hug his chickens or call his therapist. But no, he went full scorched earth. That BBC interview, it was a grenade lobbed right into the palace gates. He accused King Charles of being emotionally unfit, brought up the same old claims of racism and cold-heartedness. And he did it days before the most important ceremonial event in years. Talk about knowing how to blow up a bridge and set it on fire again just to be sure.
And wouldn't tell him what was being done to poor Harry. So as he's may or may not be going to the king's coronation, he's hitting them publicly again. He can't go 2 weeks without lobbing another grenade at his own family. This too is the fault of the royal family. Maybe the royal family had a reason.
Because of that, royal insiders didn't hesitate. They declared reconciliation officially off the table, not postponed, not on hold, dead, like royal sausage roll in the sky dead. They're not even pretending anymore. No more polite PR lines about healing over time. At this point, even the tabloids are done playing fantasy league with Harry's royal comeback.
But it's delusional in so many ways as well.
And what's the palace doing now? Just rewriting history, literally. Sources say they're working to scrub Harry out of ceremonial records, like a bad edit in a royal yearbook. He's not being ignored, he's being redacted, like a royal typo someone accidentally left in for a decade too long. Oops, that rebellious ginger? Nah, never happened.
For all the carry-on about Prince Harry needing security when he visits the UK, well, you'd think he'd be a bit more discerning about knocking on random doors.
But the worst part? The ghosting. Charles didn't even send the rejection himself. No call, no text, no, hey son, maybe next time. The message came from an assistant, not even a royal assistant, probably just some palace intern named Brian. Imagine falling that far from grace that your own father won't even hit you with a royal scene. That's not distance. That's emotional exile served with a side of silence.
Absolutely. I mean, look, there's just such a big difference between the words and the deeds there that it makes you really question the credibility of what he has to say.
Because let's be real, the monarchy isn't planning for Harry's return. There are no contingency plans, no empty chairs left open just in case. They're not waiting for his next apology tour. They're redecorating the entire royal legacy without him. And honestly, it looks cleaner that way. Once dubbed the People's Prince, Harry's now been downgraded to People's Punchline. He's gone from walking behind his mother's coffin to being featured in TikTok memes titled, "When the Royal Group Chat Leaves You on Red." This man fought in Afghanistan, waved from palace balconies, and now he's headlining gossip podcasts and crying over security budgets. If that's not a fall from grace, I don't know what is.
This interview Harry has done with the BBC, I feel like it raises more questions than provides answers. Which were the comments which really stood out to you?
Oh, so many, Caroline. And I think actually the nature of the interview surprised me in and of itself. The fact that he did it so quickly after that Court of Appeal security judgment.
Now here's where it all gets truly savage. That empty seat at the Order of the Bath ceremony, it wasn't just a missed RSVP, it was a statement. That silence wasn't passive, it was symbolic erasure. The monarchy told a story that day, and in that story, Harry was not just absent, he was irrelevant. No titles, no mentions, not even a sniff of maybe next time. The silence around his name screamed louder than any speech he's ever given. Harry's out. The Crown has spoken. Subscribe for more royal chaos and brutal truth bombs every week.